Welcome back to another UFC fight prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the prelim fights for UFC Fight Night Smith versus Rakic. So without further ado, let's get to our first fight on the prelims and our first fight on the card. So in our first fight, we have in the welterweight division, Sean Brady versus Christian Aguilera. So the brother or the stepson or the nephew of Christina Aguilera, even though I'm joking right here. But yeah, we got basically the same name, but a male version of Christina Aguilera's name. So look at this fight right here. When I look at Aguilera, I think he got a well-rounded a well-rounded skill set, but definitely leans heavily to the striking, especially at this level of the game. I don't think as far as in the UFC tier fighter that he's gonna be out there really submitting people or taking them down and grappling them and having so much success. But really, he's gonna be a guy that's probably gonna end up being a sprawling brawler at this level. Going against Sean Brady, who's a fighter who's, even though he gets so much praise and is still like a highly touted prospect for whatever reason, he still has, like, I don't know why I said that like that, but he still has not had a truly impressive performance since he came to the UFC. All of his performances have been lackluster. I don't know what I'm saying like that. I'm talking like Sylvester the Cat. I don't know. I even said Sylvester. Let me just stop talking. Let me try to say that one more time. Sylvester. Yes, Sylvester. Just slow down a little bit and I can say things. So Sylvester the Cat. Why am I talking like that? But yeah, Sean Brady, look at him. Has not looked all that impressive. What I see in Sean Brady, he's supposed to be all this and all that. I just see a fighter who has a good, well-rounded skill set, and he can be effective with it at a decent level as far as into the UFC. I'm not saying this guy that's long-term or upper echelon in the UFC, he'll be able to have his full skill set. I don't see if they just dipped him into the upper echelon right now, he'd get washed. But I just see long-term, I don't know, I just don't really see him really being an upper echelon fighter just yet from what I've seen. I kind of see him as a middle of the pack guy, like nothing really outstanding about him, like no outstanding wrestling, no outstanding jiu-jitsu, no outstanding striking, no outstanding power, no outstanding athleticism, no outstanding fight IQ. I see a guy with decent enough striking, decent enough grappling, can blend it together pretty well, and he has some decent fight IQ. Like he got the whole good starter pack that can get you into the UFC and hold you for a good bit, maybe even hold you at the middle of the pack for a good couple years, but not a guy that, not a good enough, not the package that can get you up to the upper echelon and challenge for a title, and definitely not even win a title. But I'll just see him as a guy that has a middle of the pack skill set. While I look at Aguilera, I kind of see a guy that can have like a lower of the pack skill set. Like I say, resume not looking the best. Got to win over Ivy, who really wasn't really tested. But to get to the point of this one, I just see Sean Brady, like I said, he got the whole basic starter kit that can get you far in the UFC. I see Aguilera kind of gonna be a one-dimensional fighter in this fight, and Sean Brady has been making the right moves and not allowing Aguilera to get that power going. So striking with him, boxing him, keeping the jab on him, mixing the takedowns, and now allowing Aguilera to really load up and get those strikes off. And like I said, this fighting a smart fight, nothing impressive, but getting the victory nonetheless, and probably not a similar textbook Brady fight where it's not impressive, but he gets the W, and it's clear and clean enough that he got that W. So in this fight, I got Sean Brady via decision. Now to our next fight, we had having the women's strawweight division, Emily Whitmire versus Poliana Viana. So looking at Poliana Viana, she's suffering from that I beat a man curse, or either I could beat a man or I could beat a man in the same sport as me, ranked in the same sport as me, in the men's division, in the same weight class, or either way, it all revolves around that whole thing that a woman beat a man up, and that fascination with that whole thing. Is in like Poliana Viana, I think she came to UFC, she won her first fight over Jeremy Stevens, but I'm forgetting the name right now. Big Daddy Joe Stevenson. Yeah, Joe Stevenson's wife. I think she came in, she beat Maya Stevenson, who I think was just fought that one fight. I think she lost her fight on the Ultimate Fighter to even get on the show. Then she got a chance in the UFC and she lost to Poliana Viana. Then I think she was cut. But yeah, she beat Joe Big Daddy Stevenson's wife. And then I think the news came out that she beat up a man. Like I think Poliana Viana, I don't know what she was trained on. She was going around Brazil. I think a guy tried to rob her and she beat him up. And then that whole thing blew up. Then after that, she suffered a curse and she lost all her last 3 fights. And I think 2 of those fights were fights she should have beat. One, she should have beat Hannah Cifers. That was her first loss. And she just looked terrible in that fight. Then she fought someone else in between that who she should have lost anyway. And then she fought her third fight. She fought Macedo. Or I think, what's her name? Valerie Macedo or something? Or Macedo something? Yeah, Macedo. And that was a fight she should have won. Like Macedo was the better striker, but she was supposed to be the better grappler. And then she got to fight the ground, and she was submitted in like a minute on the ground by Macedo. So she can't win the fight she was supposed to win. So with her, like ever since that man curse, or maybe I don't know, maybe she just was never that good. But she could at least say she reached her peak by she did literally beat up a actual man into submission. So maybe she's like, I don't know what it is with women, but like it happens a lot. Like when Ronda Rousey started getting good, I said she was already good, but when Ronda Rousey was on top, they started saying, oh, she could beat man at 135. She could fight the champions of man. She could beat this. She could do that. She could do this. And then she ran into Holly Holm and got beat up and got humbled real quick. And it happened with some other chick. She beat up the half man, or the guy that was a former man, the guy who had I'm forgetting the guy's name right now, but another chick beat up that guy, and our former guy, not to be offensive, but a woman that was once a man. She beat up that person, and then after that, she had a good little stint, but she kind of fell off as well. And then Cyborg kind of had the same thing. Like Cyborg, for a long time, people saying she could beat up dudes, and then she ran into Amanda Nunes. But it's like every time a woman starts getting to the point where, or either she beats up a man, or she gets to the point where it's like she could beat up others, they feel like she could beat up, or she should be fighting actual men and actual MMA competitors who actually train MMA. It's like every time they get to that point, they get humbled very quickly, and most of them don't recover from it. But that's kind of going too far off into that topic right there. But how I basically see it, like I said, basically to cut a point, Poliana Viana been choking, or she just has not been looking good, hasn't been winning fights. So why would you even trust her to win this fight? Well, like Emily Whitmire, she's 4-3, but look at the competition. She's fought better competition than Poliana Viana overall, and she's only lost to that real top competition. Like people she lost to are actually doing well in the division, with Poliana Viana just losing to anyone, like literally anyone. She do have, like I said, one fighter she did lose to is probably a solid fighter, but other two fighters are fighters that probably are about to be cut or should be cut or have long time should be cut. But to get to the point, I see Emily Whitmire striking. I probably lean to Viana, but overall, Whitmire, the much better grappler, much better fighter, and she just looks like she's more in there. Viana just looks like she's so complacent out there and just looks flat. So overall, Emily Whitmire is not the better striker, but I think she can probably still win the striking. And on the ground, I think she's completely will out wrestle Viana and do what she wants to Viana. Viana just been looking flat on her back as well. So I think Emily Whitmire could take her down, could dominate on the ground, and I think she submits her in the second round. So in this fight, I have Emily Whitmire be a second round submission. Now to our next fight we have in the featherweight division, Alex Caceres versus Kevin Croom. So I can get very much to the point on this one. Croom will have a 1-inch height advantage over Caceres, but will give up half an inch reach to Caceres. So that's that right there. So we got Kevin Croom. He's the hillbilly heartthrob in Kevin Croom right here. So he's basically Hannah Montana's dad. I forget his name right now. But yeah. Old Town Road. But yeah. Caceres versus Croom. So why would I see Croom? Not the best striker, not the best grappler, not the smartest fighter out there. He kind of pretty much just comes to fight. He don't care about looking pretty. He'll go out there, close that distance, swing. Whether it's for the better of it, like, you know, whether it's going to be to his success or be to his detriment, he's going to go out there, he's going to be aggressive, he's going to swing. He like, not the most technique, but he does got a little bit of power on him. He does got some submission skills to him. He does got a little bit of wrestling, but definitely, this to the point, Alex Caceres is the more technical fighter. Alex Caceres' striking is cleaner, his grappling is cleaner, but Kevin Croom can make it interesting. Like a fighter that don't care or nothing. It's not like Caceres got so much power. Caceres is so solid that if you see a guy like this, he's going to play with him and destroy him. Caceres, like a guy like that, can cause problems for Caceres. But I'm going to lean to Caceres for having a full camp, has fought better competition overall. When I look at Croom, he only fought like two real solid fighters, or well, one's a real solid fighter, and he got a win over Derek Minor. And the biggest name he fought was Crazy Horse. So good lengthy career. Oh, he fought Justin Gaethje, got knocked out, I think. Slam knocked out. But yeah. I'm talking as far as beat. The biggest name he beat was Crazy Horse. And the best, as far as talent and skill wise, the best guy he beat was Derek Minor, which is pretty solid. But how to see? I see Alex Caceres just really being able to outbox him, deal with the chaos, and just be the more technical fighter out there. Alex Caceres has been in a lot of wild fights just for his lack of skill and lack of power. I'm not saying Alex Caceres is so untalented or so unskilled, but more skilled fighters wouldn't have the same issues that he has. But he's a solid fighter. He definitely belongs to be here and definitely a solid fighter and all that stuff. But yeah, it is what it is. But I see Alex Caceres being a cleaner technical fighter. It's really just dealing with the storm of Kevin Croom early and then just kind of slowing the fight down like he does. And once Croom loses that steam in the first round, I just see Caceres start to land the shots even more in the second and third round. Then I think he might even be able to get submission when Croom starts to slow down and, you know, hands start to drop. Croom's not the most technical guy anyway, not the best footwork, not the best head movement. Then I think Caceres can start to start to land his own shots real consistent. Weather down Croom, I think he submits him in the third. So in this fight, I got Alex Caceres via third round submission. Now to our next fight we have in the middleweight division, Zach Cummings versus Alessio Di Chirico. So really this one is almost cut and dry. Zach Cummings has been a fighter like through his whole career, or at least his whole UFC career and Ultimate Fighter career, where I see his guy like he just seems so disappointing, like he loses so many times. But then when I really look at his resume, he really has beat a lot of decent guys, and the only guys he lost to have all been studs. He hasn't lost anybody bad, and he, like I say, he hasn't really lost that much in general. Like you might feel like he's a 500 fighter, but he's not. You kind of get that look about him. Like when you look at the people, like last day he fought with Omar Akhmedov, and it was a competitive fight, and you saw Whitmire, former champion, struggle with Akhmedov. We seen what's his name, Marvin Vettori struggle with Akhmedov. We seen so he's not losing to this Cans, and he's not just losing to anyone. But yeah, basically not losing to one. So when I get to Chirico, I see a guy that's kind of like a bootleg wannabe Borrachinha, a bootleg Paulo Costa. Definitely not as good of grappling, but he's big. He'll walk you down and he'll swing big shots. That's about it. That's all I'm trying to say. And Cummings has never been knocked out. So, and also, the reason his biggest win came over this one guy. Yeah, his biggest win has come over Julian Marquez, who kind of embraces that brawl type fight. So it turned into a 50-50 fight, which Chirico was able to get the lean on and win a split decision. But outside of that, Chirico has not shown me the ability to be a solid fighter. He has not shown me that. He kind of walks. He don't cut people off. He just kind of walks. He kind of follows. That's what he does. He follows people and he swings big shots. That's about it. So that's not going to get you very far in the UFC, and it has not gotten very far in the UFC. So when I look at him, I'm not very impressed by Chirico. I can feel like this is a fight where Zach Cummings could let you down again and just get like, and he don't move his head very much at all either. So I feel like Chirico should be able to land on him. But just looking at their body of work, Chirico has not shown himself to be able to beat a solid fighter. I think Zach Cummings could probably get takedowns on him. I think Zach Cummings could probably walk him shots, and Zach Cummings might even knock him out. Like so this guy just walks, chin up, swings big shot. That's all he does. Zach Cummings got a little bit of technique to him. He don't move his head either. Don't got the best footwork either. So it's not like the easiest fight to pick. But Zach Cummings is by far the more well-rounded fighter, and his resume speaks far more than Chirico's resume. It's not like Chirico's so much bigger. I think width-wise, Chirico's bigger than him, but vertically they're the same height. And he Cummings actually had like a 2-inch reach advantage over him. Like I said, Cummings has the longer shots. He has the more technical shots. He definitely got a little bit of power on him, and he definitely has not been knocked out in his MMA career. So kind of hard to say. Well, it's not really hard to say. It's just to get to the point. Zach Cummings, the more experienced fighter, the more technical fighter, and has shown the more proven fighter. And that's just about it. I think Zach Cummings will be able to weather the storm, pick his shots, crack Chirico, and I think he'll be able to get a hard-fought decision over the Chirico after 3 rounds. So in this fight, I got Zach Cummings via decision. Now to our next fight, we have in our prelim headliner. Well, it's not our prelim headliner. We have in our co-prelim headliner in the strawweight division, Mallory Martin versus Hannah Cifers. So we all know how to go with Hannah Cifers. Hannah Cifers, sure, she's a talented fighter, and no fighter wants to be in this position, but she kind of falls in that position where, yes, you train hard, and yes, you're good, and yes, you're this and all that, but when you get to the highest level, you're just not that good. That's the whole point of it. Like, you have no standout skills, and you just become that fighter. Anytime you fight anybody with any bit decent, or even not that decent, you just become a fighter that is an easy win almost in the division. People are like, oh, I'm getting Hannah Cifers. I'm going to get that win bonus. That's what they about to say when they see Hannah Cifers. They might not get like a phenomenal performance where they get an extra bonus, but they'll get that win bonus by winning. They're like, oh, I'm fighting Hannah Cifers. I'm going to win. That's kind of what it came down, what it's getting to. Like, she'll go stick around for a little bit, and people bet and be like, oh, it's Hannah Cifers. Like, I'm going to throw whoever fight her on my parlay. That's kind of what they see with Hannah Cifers. Like, no disrespect, it's the truth. But Hannah Cifers, like, in her last fight, she actually had a good chance to beat Mackenzie Dern. Like, Mackenzie Dern couldn't take her down. She was out muscling Mackenzie Dern. She was busting her nose up, had her leaking. And then she had Mackenzie Dern was on her back, and she gonna play around with her in her guard, and the got a knee bar put on her. Like, you had a chance to win that fight. Why did you even play around? You should just let her stand up and kept beating her up on the feet and stuffing her takedown. Like, she couldn't even get a takedown at all. She was struggling and giving her all and could not get a takedown. So I don't know. Hannah Cifers, like, even when she's presented with a chance to win, a big win at that, and like a career-changing win, she still finds a way to lose. So that's pretty much all you got to say about Hannah Cifers. Mallory Martin on the other side, solid fighter. She gave Macy Barber a hard fight before she got in the UFC. But not to drag this one any bit. When I look at Mallory Martin, I see good grappling, good takedown offense. It seems like everybody she fights outside of Arena, John DeRoba, like she gets them all on the ground, be mounting them and ground and pound them, and be like, she get a takedown just by everybody and get in advantageous, dominant positions on them and land a lot of ground and pound. Does she get finishes? Not really, but she definitely seems like she has the ability to get just about every woman she fights on the ground and be able to dominate and control them on the ground for large for the fight. Like she had Macy Barber on the ground a lot in their fight, and yeah, she was having a lot of success. Striking wise, she's supposed to have like a kick, like a little Muay Thai background, but she don't move her head at all. Her striking looks far from pretty. So I actually might say Cifers is the better striker between the two. But to come down to the the clear cut, no BS. Hannah Cifers just has proven herself to not be a winner. I think Mallory Martin, she's probably gonna allow Mallory Martin to get her to the ground and control her on the ground. She's probably gonna allow Mallory Martin to outstrike her. And that's gonna be the case. It's gonna be a decision fight where Mallory Martin just working harder and Cifers just making mistakes or just not doing anything at all. So in this fight, I got Mallory Martin via decision. Now to our prelim headliner, we have in the middleweight division, Mikey Pitolo versus Impa Kasanganay. Someone's call him Impa. So we got Pitolo versus Impa. So in this fight, I think Impa is the favorite right now just because of his Contender Series fight or Contender Series fights. But looking at both his Contender Series fights and looking at his career and overall, he has not proven to be a finisher. He has not been proven to be a power puncher. And as far as you might say, oh, his technique is so pretty, or he's this and he's that, or he's undefeated in that. He has not really shown me anything impressive. Like his striking, like is pretty decent, no power behind it, and there's some holes in his defense. Like he'd be open for those hooks. Like in the last fight, the guy was able to catch him with hooks pretty much at will. He didn't stick to them, but he was able to catch him with hooks at will. And Pitolo does some big hooks. And he also, because Kasanganay shows some good grappling, some good takedown offense, but like I said, no real finishing ability, no real good, whether it be with strikes or with submission, no real good finishing ability. And when I look at this fight, I see Pitolo is the more fleshed out fighter. Like, because Kasanganay might have a higher ceiling potentially if you can add power to that. He can fix up some little holes in his defense. Like, he'll probably have a big ceiling or he'll have a higher ceiling, but for right now, Pitolo just like the better fighter in my opinion. Not no big height difference between the two, not no big skill difference between the two. But Pitolo has finishing power. He can grapple as well, and he's fought better competition. And when he went on the Contender Series, he finished his opponent, destroyed his opponent. So just looking at this fight, I just feel like Kasanganay might be a little bit more cleaner with his technique, but still gonna be open for those hooks, which Pitolo is very good at. I feel like he's not gonna really have anything to stop Pitolo from cutting the cage off on him and like pushing him back. Like he's not gonna have anything to pretty much get Pitolo off him because he don't have no power. So Pitolo's gonna be cracking with big shots. And Kasanganay not really have any answer for that. He tried to grapple with Pitolo. I think Pitolo can hold his own with him in grappling and maybe even out grapple him. But I think real thing comes down to it's not the biggest difference between them in any skill set. Like wrestling, no big difference. Striking, no big difference. But the biggest difference is experience and power. And Pitolo has both of those. And I feel like Kasanganay is not gonna have an answer for neither of those. Neither experience nor power. And that's gonna be the difference. So I think it's gonna be a competitive fight until the power starts landing consistently for Pitolo. And Kasanganay is not gonna really be able to respond. I think Pitolo stops him in the second. So in this fight, I got Mikey Pitolo via second round TKO. And that concludes my fight predictions for the prelims of UFC Fight Night, Smith versus Rakic. And as always, thanks for watching.